Hey everybody, welcome to the Detroit City Sportscast. I am Adam Hernandez. I wanted to get on tonight because I wanted to just take a little bit of a sober-minded approach to what happened during yesterday's Lions game, where we saw them lose to the Green Bay Packers 29-22 from Ford Field. Once again, proving that the Lions just can't get a win on Thanksgiving. And it wasn't just losing to Green Bay. It was the way that they did lose. They were once again giving up a shit ton of points to a bad NFC North team. This time, though, they couldn't, pull magic out of a hat and end up coming out with a win like they did last weekend against Chicago. Jared Goff again didn't look great in this one. He was 29 of 44, 332 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He, like the rest of the offense, though, just kind of looked out of sorts in this one. Really had trouble at times getting things going. They did fumble. How many times did they fumble? They fumbled 3 times, lost it 3 times. David Montgomery, 71 yards on 15 carries, 1 touchdown. Leading receiver, Sam Laporta, 5 receptions, 47 yards, and 1 touchdown. That's good, but again, you want, I guess you don't want your tight end to be your leading receiver, especially when it's only for 47 yards. On the flip, Christian Watson, who has not had a good season thus far this year, 94 yards, 1 touchdown on 5 receptions. From Jordan Love's 22 of 32 for 268 yards and 3 touchdowns. Definitely one of Jordan Love's most impressive games of the season. Something that the Lions of old have been prone to doing is making bad quarterbacks like Jordan Love look really, really good. And I know this is the part where you kind of want to talk yourself off a ledge. If you're a Lions fan, and that's something that I'm trying to do tonight, is to again take that sober-minded approach, take a reasonable approach, not be hyperbolic to yesterday's loss, because it was very reminiscent of a same old Lions type of loss, or at least an early Dan Campbell era type of loss, where they kind of get it going, they kind of make a game out of it towards the end there, but they just can't finish it out. Not only that, though, too, Dan Campbell's performance as a coach yesterday also wasn't good, and you look no further than what happened on that fake punt, which again was a throwback to how Dan Campbell used to coach this team earlier on in his tenure. When he would kind of shoot from the hip, he'd be that gunslinger type of head coach, taking chances just to take chances. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, trying to pull off a fake punt when you are well within. You are not even at midfield. You're not even Green Bay territory. You're well within your end of the field, and it didn't work out, and Green Bay ended up capitalizing off of it. I don't think that ended up being the game, but it was very telling of the type of game that the Lions were playing yesterday, from top to bottom, from what was happening on the field to what was happening on the sidelines. And again, the defense too. The defense just looked horrible once again. And I don't know what it is with them. It could be, the lack of, this could be things coming back to kind of bite Brad Holmes on the ass for not, really doing much. Well, not really anything at all at the trade deadline. Not getting any help for Aiden Hutchinson, not addressing, kind of the holes in the secondary, since, the team is continuing to deal with injuries. CJ Gardner-Johnson is still out, and there's no telling when he's going to be back, despite what he said in that Instagram video from the other day, where he said he'd be back in 2 to 3 weeks. Dan Campbell came back and was like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what the hell he's saying. I'm paraphrasing here, but he wanted to know what type of what doctor he was talking to, because CJ was talking 2 to 3 weeks, and that just didn't make any sense to Dan Campbell. So I guess as it stands right now, we're probably not going to be expecting CJ Gardner-Johnson back in 2 to 3 weeks, based on Dan Campbell's reaction to that. But it could be just lack of talent, it just being gassed at this point. Who knows? We'll see what the weeks ahead bring us. But the thing with the Lions, though, is I know a lot of people are going to want to go and say this is the same old Lions type of loss. This is the same old Lions showing that dirty head of theirs, and just kind of that here we go again mentality, when you can't fall back into that. I don't think you can. I don't think you should. For one, I think it's a lazy take. Second of all, this isn't that same Lions team that we've seen in the past. This is a very, very different Lions team. This is a good Lions team. This is a team that has one of the best offenses in the league, one of the most explosive offenses in the league, and they've got the track record at this point to prove it. It's not like this is something that we've only seen for the past few weeks, or even for this season thus far. This is something that they've been doing since before this time last year. They've proven that they can go out and win games consistently. They have one of the best records in all of football, not only this year, but again, going back to a few weeks before this time last year. The sample size is big enough to be comfortable enough to say that this Lions team is a good team. They're still in prime position to win the NFC North. It would take just an epic collapse for them to lose the NFC North, lose that home playoff game in the first round, and God forbid, lose out on the playoffs altogether. But I think that's just something that you have to keep in perspective with all of this. Is the sample size of their success, which is great enough. And not to mention, they still have a very, very favorable stretch of games here when it comes to the schedule and that strength of schedule. It is still an easy schedule to finish the season out. And in my opinion, too, a number one seed in the NFC still isn't out of the question. You did yourself no favors after what happened yesterday, but it's still not out of the question. So again, trying to keep a sober mind with this, not be hyperbolic, not get all crazy. Even good teams have bad stretches, and if they come out of this bad stretch with only a loss to Green Bay, then that's pretty damn good, because we've seen this team play bad this year or not up to par and come away with a win, which is something they did just this past weekend against the Chicago Bears. So other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off tonight. You can check us out, Detroit.themajorsports.com. get more news, more information there. Again, subscribe to the podcast on whatever podcast platform that you that you go to, and rate us. Other than that, we will see you next time.